All right. Hi, good evening. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for coming. I can see Gopal, Reshma, Jitendra, Rakesh, Saurabh. Thanks a lot, Ravi. Hi. So happy to see all of you. Of course, Melissa is here, Liz is here, and then we just have Lorena. She will be dropping in sometime. So we'll, yeah, a few more minutes. So we'll start. So good to go. Thank you so much. So today we are officially yeah. Okay, so we are unveiling this magazine Power Talk. We are 2 editions old today, and we are really very happy, absolutely filled with gratitude, and thanks for the support of all of you for the wonderful articles you've all written, all the topics we've selected and chosen with a lot of care and thought, and all the authors that have come on board. Thank you so much. All these topics are very, very close to my heart, and quite the necessity in today's time for people to know. And yeah, so let's start. So you all have the cover page with you already. So let's start this journey. Okay, then we have the, okay. So this is our website, Power Talk Archanna. So as we go further down, you'll see the magazine, cover page of the magazine. That's the cover page, Power Talk. So the moment you click on this will take you to the websites where these are available. So this is going to be available on Issue, on Maxter, and Yumpu. So at the moment we have not activated the link, but then we'll show the magazine. Just let's flip through all the pages. Let's start. Okay, NESCOM Foundation, very, very thankful. NESCOM, Saurabh is here from NESCOM, and I happened to speak to Mr. Ashok Parmidi, the CEO of NESCOM Foundation. He's been very kind to make his presence here in this magazine, a topic which is very, very close to my heart. Their endeavor, Mar Kartavya, is a beautiful endeavor, and I feel it's important for all of us to step forward ourselves without an invitation and give ourselves back to the society, do something for them. In fact, a Power Talk with Archana, my NGO, named Anand Vijay after my parents, my father Anand, my mom Vijay. And so Vijay in Hindi means victory, and Anand means pleasure. So that's how I named my NGO, Anand Vijay. And we have been involved a lot into supporting people with free cataract operations and medical checkups. So we've been doing a lot in that. So my Kartavya is a project very close to my heart, and I really request and urge everyone to make their contributions, come forward, you know, and make their contributions in this endeavor. We should join hands with NASCOM Foundation. And Saurabh, thanks a lot for coming by and being a part of this event here, something very special and dear to my heart. As we
Thank you,
flip
Archana.
through, okay, our expert authors. Okay, so we have management, which we feel is a behavioral science. Let's go back, please. Okay, a behavioral science, and we are handling 4 topics in this. We have 2 international authors, Liz Mama, and that is Elizabeth Franklin, and then we have Lorena Acosta. Krishna Rao Buddha is taking care of business management, product management in particular, a very dear friend. He has been with Parley Industries for more than 2 decades now. Gopal, again, a very dear friend. He's handling a very, very important skill. Skill management is very important today. And he talks about gig economy. And he's been with Ernst& Young at a very handling a senior profile, and will help you understand what he wants to share about gig economy. Lorena Acosta, she is again a very dear friend, and she will be talking about brand management and how important this is today and what it takes to build a brand, not only at the corporate level, but also at the personal level. And Liz Franklin, oh, of course, she's a beautiful, wonderful lady, and she's given 30 years of her life, dedicated to handling adults and helping them harness positivity. And I feel the kind of time we've spent during this COVID, there has been so much of coordination at work, at home, and so she will really help you through her article understand how important it is to stay positive and how we can train our tongue to stay positive and help our lives be the way we want. So that is what she's going to be talking about. So that's what management is all about. Then we have technology. Here comes the cover girl, Reshma Ramachandran. Hi, Reshma. Thanks a lot for gracing the second edition of Power Talk. We're really, really very happy. Reshma is the Group Vice President for ABB Hitachi Switzerland. And she talks about digitalization, the digital transformation, the business challenges. Very interesting article. And a topic which is very, very close to my heart, women in tech. I have been, talking a lot about how important it is to have more and more women in STEM. And here we have with us, women in tech being spearheaded by Ayumi Mure. So we have from her team, we have Ambassador Melissa with us, Erica also joining us, and they have so many chapters across the globe and making their effort, their bit, making sure that more and more women, more and more girls make their space in the STEM sector, and we have create more and more role models. I myself have been speaking on different platforms, trying to promote and helping women and understand how important it is to pursue their dreams. And it's absolutely essential for all of us to support this cause and have more and more women in STEM. Then, of course, Rakesh, congratulations. He's been recently promoted. So, congratulations. He is with IBM, and he talks about artificial intelligence. So, as digital transformation and artificial intelligence takes the driving seat, he's going to, drive us through the various pros and cons and how the life is going to change forever, for good, I'm sure. And then, of course, you will have lots of, inspiration in here in this, magazine. You will meet Mr. Ravi Krishnamurthy. I mean, a philosopher, friend, guide. The gentleman has spent, 33 years with SBI Life. So I'm talking about the president SBI Life himself and the journey he's had in building, ICICI Bank. He established in 2009 in south of India. A must read article, beautiful, wonderful experience. His leadership style, the way he's completely changed the face of a corporate banking. You will be really inspired reading this. Then, of course, as we change, can all right. Uh, okay, Mr. Thomas Verghese. Oh my God, what shall I say? I mean, I've really developed affinity for this gentleman. I mean, he's the CEO with Aditya Birla Group, 21 years with the Aditya Birla Group. I mean, his leadership style, he's amazing, amazing gentleman. The way he talks, he's a great mentor. And I really, and luckily he is in Bangalore now, So anyone who would like to catch up with him, please do a lot of learning. Absolutely charismatic personality, and he has so much to offer. He's handling their, fiber business for past 21 years and still going strong. Amazing, amazing. So it's a peep into his life beyond his leadership, the popular leader that he is. And yes, Manish K. Tyagi. I'm sure many of you know who Manish Tyagi is. Now he is a retired commander from the Indian Navy, and this gentleman talks about how life is at the naval base, and how it teaches one to be, upfront, to be strong, to be resilient, and all that goes through in one's life, and how important it is to handle life with a lot of positivity and take that first step. Never, keep overthinking or over analyzing things, or think about the what's and the who's and the why's. Lovely, lovely article. You will enjoy this article for sure. And yes, of course, Jitendra. I mean, I'm very, very thankful to Jitendra. Thanks a lot for sparing your valuable time and penning down this wonderful article. He talks about risk, very clear picture, and you will feel he's given you a very, very clear picture of what's happening. And you will love reading this article about risk and what the corporate and the is going through right now. What are the challenges and what can be done, to create that balance. So you will enjoy it for sure. And of course, we have Abhijit. Abhijit also talks about risks at the corporate level, and what kind of appetite, risk-taking appetite corporates have today, and how they can resolve it. A very different perspective, but very valuable. You will enjoy reading his article. So yeah, very, very thankful. And let's flip through. Okay, this is my ribbon edition. Oh, I love this. Now, this is the lady on the cover is Harriet Green, a wonderful lady. I totally adore her. The She is the former chairperson, yeah, the former chairperson and CEO IBM Asia Pacific. An amazing woman, a great mentor, wonderful. I wish that I was still working for a corporate to be mentored by her. Amazing woman. So currently, she is on the board of the Singapore Economic Development Board, and she's doing amazing work now. And she has been very instrumental in amplifying the magazine, creating a market for it. She's been really great. All right, so here we are with the risk panorama of the industry today. Okay, now that's my favorite, Jitendra. Jitendra ji, you're there, right? Jitendra, you can hear
Yes,
me.
yes, I'm here and I can
Hi.
hear you. It's just
Hi.
that, I was on mute. Yeah,
Great.
hi.
All right. So let's talk about your article. Over to you, sir.
Sure. Sure, Archana. And first of all, thank you for having me here. With the galaxy of, all these participants or panelists, I should say, it's amazing to be between, all these people who are like all experts in their field. And congratulations to you for bringing out this version of the e-newsletter. So look, my write-up is very simple. It may sound like a cliche, but we know that, we are living in unprecedented times, right? We must have heard this term many times, but this is the reality. I had the business risk management function for a Fortune 500 company, and I've been doing risk management for last around 17, 18 years now with various multinationals and financial institutions. So I think the write-up which I wanted to kind of bring to the readers, or the view which I wanted to bring to the readers is, obviously there are multitude of risks that we could look at, but I wanted to focus on two risks specifically. One is the information security risk, which I think everyone is kind of aware of, and the kind of environment we are in, where people are working from home. I think it's a big risk, and obviously this is it's a very fertile ground for the bad actors also to do their things from a phishing perspective, or ransom attacks, and all those things that we are seeing. So that's one component of it. The second component, which is again very, very close to my heart, is how it is impacting the employees or the humans. I think that's one aspect which is now being talked upon very, very openly. But I think initial days, we were all scrambling to kind of just make sure that our customer deliverables are met, and there are no kind of negative impact to the customer deliverable. So we were kind of a little bit overlooked kind of aspect from a human risk perspective. So human risk, I think, is very, very important according to me, because it's not only about the bandwidth and the laptop and people start working from home. We've already seen a lot of debate happening about like how if the employees are more productive or less productive. But it goes beyond productivity in my mind. It is also about like how they are feeling, like when they're working from home. Obviously, we are all hardwired to work from office. We have those cooler talks. We have that bonding and the community feeling when we go to office. And I think that has all been taken off now, right? Even if you have to ask a simple question, you have to like set up a meeting or call people, and it's not the same, right? We have to all accept that. So,
True.
and I think more importantly, what is happening is that if we are all talking about a big proportion of our workforce which is going to work from home going forward, that's the fundamental shift which we are hearing. Then I think we need, as I said earlier, much more than just the physical or the technology infrastructure. We need to kind of understand what would be those specific needs if people are working from home. What would be some of the ways where we will be able to still have that community feeling and the feeling of engagement. And it could mean that we have to have some new policies. It could mean that we need to kind of figure out something how that engagement would happen online. So I think that's one thing which I definitely feel is a big risk, and which we need to kind of make sure we address it now. And because human capital is the one which is a very, very critical piece for any organization to be successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love your article, love your thoughts. Thank you so much, Jitendra. As we move forward, okay, all right. Abhijit, perform or perish. Yes, Abhijit, can we please hear from you?
Yeah. So the article is written, it's either perform or perish. In short, what I strongly believe is now it's not just the survival of the fittest, it's the survival of the fitter among the fittest. So before you get disrupted by risks, you need to be a disruptor yourself, need to be highly proactive and be on top. And what I, the start is nothing has changed as such, but everything has changed. So if you look at risks is something you don't see coming. And this is what COVID-19 caught us totally by surprise. And that has that has brought into focus the unpredictability of risks. The black swans, what you call it, have either become more blacker, or the black swans have now become grayer, or there's no longer a black swan at all. These are swans everywhere. So the unpredictability, the volatility of the risk, the fact that technology still has to do a lot of catch up to do to basically even to find a vaccine. We are taking time, and how potent the vaccine will be. I think all risks can be de-risked, but this is a risk which is taking some time to de-risk. So the adaptability adjustment factor, which all humans we have adjusted to the lockdown, the unlocking, the health hygiene advisories which have been given out. So the focus on personal health is what has been brought out as a result of this. There's been an absolute change in work culture. I think work from home will be a norm going on. There'll be obviously a mixed system when everything comes out. I think even in the speaking industry, it's now everything is a virtual space. A lot of changes which have been there in businesses. There'll be a lot of shakeups. There'll be a lot of reskilling for employees which would be needed. Everybody will need to unlearn, learn, relearn. So there'll be a lot of changes, and we need to be proactive. Prevention is the norm. Prevention is better than cure. So the simple fundas of risk, the risk identification, the control mapping, and finally the gap analysis and the resolutions remain the same. The only thing is the risks will become more complex, and emerging risks will keep on increasing, and we need to be on guard 25 by 8. It's not 24 by 7. We'll have to be on guard 25 by 8. That's what is just of what I see.
Yeah, very well, very well. Absolutely right. Absolute pleasure to have you on board with us, Abhijit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we move on
Thanks
to the
for
next article.
inviting me. Yeah.
Okay, so we spoke about Ravi Krishnan. So are you here? Excellence in corporate banking. 33 years with SBI. Rewards, experiences, and so much more. So are you with me? Okay, I think we'll come back.
No, no, he's there, but he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Huh, now
Yeah. Now you can
Okay,
hear me.
let's go back.
So good evening and congratulations, Archana, and lovely to
Thank
see all of you here. Different perspectives in this magazine, which Archana is bringing out. I felt very enriched by what Archana spoke about, and particularly very enthused about the fact that there is a lot we can share about what mistakes we made in the last 30 years, what pitfalls we avoided, and that could be a huge learning experience for people who are coming up the ladder. And my life experience in career, particularly by God's grace, was extremely stiff and very challenging. So because it was very stiff and challenging, I learned a lot, and I thought that concepts like how to build mind conceptualization, how do you build an idea in your mind and translate it to hundreds of people in the organization. While corporate banking is where I started with, eventually I ended up as a people leader. And what I could realize was that if you inspire your employees, if you motivate your partners, then you end up delighting your customers. So an inspired workplace, a motivated partnership, a motivated set of distributors eventually leads to delightful customers and obviously delighted stakeholders. And vision building, idea creation, taking the biggest idea to the smallest person on the field, the person who's not connected to your vision, how do you build the vision to that person? And then finally, how do you take people along, and how do you make competition and collaboration both happen in a workplace? You need competition to create the best, but you also need people to collaborate. So how do you make sure that these two get married? I think these experiences I got out of working with some fantabulous bosses to whom I'm deeply indebted to, and then a couple of very gracious incidents that took place in my life. A couple of them was, of course, the coaching that I got with a particular person accidentally in 2008, and of course, my doing the inner engineering program with Isha Yoga in 2004 completely transformed me. And today, for the last 15 years, the meditation and the practices from Isha have stood me through, and I have been able to realize the power beyond the mind and what a human being can truly achieve much beyond the potential. I thank Archana for this opportunity to share my experiences. It started off as corporate banking, but today I am a process and a people leader, and and I'm happy to note that you start somewhere, you go across different verticals, but end of the day, what is it that as a human being you have become from what you were, say, at the age of 27 or 28 is what really matters, and what you give back to society. Ultimately, whether we are able to give back whatever we got to the society, can we give a little bit of energy to the person whom I meet in the morning? Can I effuse a little bit of energy on the person who's my teammate, on my peer, on my boss? Even my boss feels happy when he sees me. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible, and I can say from live experience. Thank you, Archana, for this lovely opportunity that you have given me, and I hope that people who read this will benefit for becoming good leaders, ethical leaders, people who are able to manage competition, collaboration, and finally societal contribution too. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Absolute honor to have you with us. Not one, but many learnings from this article. More power to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead. Thank you. Okay, now that's one of our sponsors, Trust with Trade, Ms. Arshi Ayub Mohammed Zaveri. She is the CEO of Trust with Trade UAE, and she's also the senior advisor with the Royal Family of UAE. We talk about Arshi. Are you here? All right. So we have, we'll move forward. So we are talking about technology in this section. All right, Reshma, that's the cover girl.
Yeah,
Okay,
actually,
Reshma,
yeah.
please join us.
Looking at looking at all the amazingly inspiring people that are on the call at the moment, I feel so humbled and honored to be the cover girl. I didn't know when you proposed this, this was amazing and inspiringly talented people who will be with me on the magazine. Really, I honestly am very, very grateful. Thank you very much. Now, coming to the
Pleasure.
article, I think digital transformation is one of those buzzwords that has picked up, I would say, in the past 2 to 3 years. COVID has only accelerated that. And everyone you talk on the streets, want to be associated with digital transformation or want to talk about digital transformation. So just to be also fair on what I have done, in the past 20 years, I've always been associated with transformation, and digital transformation has been part of the transformation for the past, I would say, 3 to 4 years of my corporate life with ABB. And this was again because of the, everyone wants to jump into the bandwagon of digitally transforming. And when we started the journey, it was we are a very traditionally tech company. So not many people understood what is digital transformation, and I think that was the most challenging part for me as a transformation leader, just in terms of trying to make people understand that digital transformation is not so much different from business transformation. It starts with the customers. It is tech enabled, but does not mean that traditionally what we are good at. So we are extremely good at electrical products, but not necessarily moving away from that. It's more about building around that. And this was a challenge, I would say, at least when I started the transformation job. And my article fundamentally talks about why transformation fails. And I think some of you here have spoken about risk and risk mitigation. I think the apt title to the article would have been more, risks in transformation. This is something that we underestimate and undervalue, because of which McKinsey puts the number at 75% traditional business transformations failure, and 89% of digital transformations fail, primarily because of that, because we don't necessarily assess the risk. And I like what both of you have written on the risk part, and I think a lot of that applies to transformation as well. And I think some of you are yet to speak, but I had a sneak peek into the magazine, so I had a chance to read the articles up front, and I think some of you will talk more in depth about that on the leadership style. So something that has changed historically from the time we started with manufacturing to now we live in the age of information, age of data, actually the age of customer, how leadership has transformed and what kind of leadership is really important, because I think the average age of the companies have also reduced in the past, if you see the past 2 decades, from about 60 to 70 years being an average life to like right now, the average life is under 15 years. I think something that will be key to the survival of is, I think the fitter of the fittest, what you said is very right. I think it's more about how you become fitter than the fittest. So how do you transform yourself? And this is where the leadership plays a most important role. So I would say, for me, if Archanna had given me more words, I would have loved to write more on the leadership part of the transformation, because I think Rakesh has done a good job with the artificial intelligence and the data part, right? I'm no expert in that, and I think there are people who are better than me in that. But I think where leadership plays a huge role is really bringing people together and making sure that everyone who has, and again, I come from ABB, which is highly tech. Our products are the best. But then how do you actually bring this electrical product knowledge into, how do you bring all of this, whatever we talk about, artificial intelligence, machine learning, the data part, how do you use data? These are all different strengths that people bring in. How do you bring that together? This is where leadership plays a key role. So I'm hoping that all of you on the call, as I said, amazingly inspiring. For me, it's totally an honor. You would also read the article, give some feedback, and for Archanna's readers, I'm hoping that it at least gives a preview into what transformation is all about.
Thank you so much, Reshma. Thoroughly enjoyed this. much. Thanks a lot for gracing the cover of Power Talk second edition. Thank you so much. Okay, Women in Tech. Yes, as we've spoken about it earlier, they have their global awards, you know, due on the 2nd of December in Lisbon. All right, so that's
Hi, Archanna.
Rakesh. Rakesh, we're talking about artificial intelligence. Let's understand what Rakesh has in store for us. Hi,
It's an
Rakesh.
absolute honor. Hey, hi, Archana. Thank you very much. As you say, more power to you. Congratulations for pulling it so successfully. It looks very enticing, trust me. And the first glimpse of it is already inspiring. And I'm already feeling like a kid amidst the august personalities like you all. So it is amazing from the bottom of my heart. And coming back to the article that I have written, it's a little fun pill. It's a little fun article between all these serious articles about risk, about leadership, about banking, all these things. Consider this is a little Kevin Hart article, if I may say, because I'm a big movie buff as well. At the same time, I work at the helm of an AI company who is by its true DNA is AI driven, who was also the first company to bring AI into the world commercially. So, just to give an example before I start talking about the article, whenever I watch a new AI movie, and then I immediately next day go back to my lab, to my scientists, and talk about really this can be done. Do you think so? And then it becomes a big discussion point for them. Look at Rakesh; he has again come back with a new AI theory and all. So the fun part apart, if you really look into the article, it is a balance between what commercially we are doing with a lot of companies, how AI is helping in automating their processes, increasing their bottom line, helping them to understand their customers. So AI is actually, on the road, helping the customers meeting their different objectives. At the same time, there is also a specific group of people in the industry who think that AI, oh my God, what is it exactly? Is it going to take over the entire workforce in my company? Is it going to bring a very disruptive disruption in the company? So I try to address that part as well by highlighting the maturity of AI, what are the different kinds of AI already being worked upon, which can see the light at the end of the tunnel, which are probably another couple of 100 years down the line. So it's a little balance between that, and I hope it will be enjoyable. Thank you for all the compliments, though. But again, think this article as not a very hardcore technology article. Being a big movie buff, I'm trying to create a little blend of that fantasy of AI with the reality, and then I hope you'll all like it. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rakesh. I'm sure everyone's going to love this article. To start with, for the feelers on artificial intelligence, I think we definitely wanted an article on the lighter side of artificial intelligence. So absolute pleasure to have you with us. Great. Let's move forward. Okay, so we have women in tech. Okay, so that's Ayumi Murray and all the 15 women from different chapters across the globe who are ambassadors of women in tech, and they are doing their bit, everything possible to ensure more and more women are a part of STEM and they feel free and happy to pursue their dreams. They're not under any pressure. So we have Melissa and Erica. I would ask them, request them to please take this forward. Please join us.
Thank you, Archanna, and good evening, everybody. And really, it's wonderful to be with you. And thank you to Archanna for including us in this great launch. It's wonderful to meet people with like-minded intents and purposes. And we're very privileged to be able to share a little bit about women in tech and what we as a global organization and movement are really trying to do. Our real sort of double mission, if you will, is to close the gender gap and to help women actually embrace technology. So I think we've got such like-minded values and thoughts of what we want to do to inspire both women and girls to actually pursue careers in STEM, which is such a vital part of obviously our world now and definitely beyond. So really, it's great to be able to spread the message, network with you, and also to invite you to really join in and have a look at our website and become members as well, because we literally have organizations and members in over 100 countries. Each country has ambassadors that set up their own chapter and really look to drive opportunities in their country, so that you on the ground, you in tune with what's happening, and create sort of networking and support structures for women and girls. So we really look to support people across sort of different organizations, right from sort of your students and graduates that are at school into your sort of entrepreneurship, and then also into the corporate workspace as well. So looking at all the different aspects that people are involved in, and it's not an organization just for women. It's obviously anybody that's keen to support women and obviously growing that skill in the environment. So definitely we're very open to our gentlemen joining us as well, which would be absolutely great to have you on board as well and support those. And I think the main thing of what we're looking to provide is also support the sustainable development goals that the United Nations has put in place. And the one in particular is goal number 5, to achieve gender equality and empower women and girls. And I think that's really one of our biggest aims, is how do we support that? How do we get people to grow? How do we learn from women that have been successful in their careers? And how do we actually give a hand up to the girls and women that are coming through the industry in terms of mentorship, support, having somebody that they can actually rely on, and give them the tips that they need to actually be better than what, you know, the women that we are right now. I think they've, from a tech space particularly, women are a huge untapped resource, and they bring a different dimension, I think, to the workplace. So we're very much there to reach out to all of you and thank you for all the wonderful work that you do, and to encourage you to continue to do that, and you know, get on board with us as well, because I think the more people that have this as a goal and as a support structure, the more of a difference that we can make all round. So really hats off to all of you for your incredible achievements and bringing it all together, Archanna. And we're very, very happy and grateful to be part of this, and wish you lots and lots of continued success. And yes, I hope you can enjoy. Please have a look at our website as well. We do have awards coming up, so you can nominate yourself or somebody to do that. It is on a global basis, so we'd love you to be part of that. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Erica. I just
Thank you so much.
Most of the things that you've done a wonderful introduction, and just one more thing I wanted to add, which I feel is really kind of why we're so passionate and what makes this particular Women in Tech network or global movement so different to all the other. There's quite a lot of networks that do similar things, but I think why this network is so close to my heart is that Ayumi, who's the CEO that started all of this, is really passionate about taking action, not just talking about, you know, the fact that there's a gender gap or the fact that there's, you know, all this untapped resource, or, you know, but it's actually how can we take action. And our organization has got programs that we put in place. We work, Erica mentioned a few, we work on mentorship programs, role model masterclasses. We have an academy that we're creating as well with free education, which is sponsored by some of our global partners. So it's actually an organization that is, you know, we have objectives to actually take action and make the change happen, rather than just having a platform to talk about it. So that's why I think we are so passionate about it, because we see the impact. And again, mirroring what Erica said, thank you for highlighting the great work that the organization is doing in this edition. And we're just really looking forward to seeing where else we can help and collaborate and help to inspire more women and girls to take up STEM and take up technology within their careers. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Erica and Melissa. Thanks a lot. In fact, yeah, we really love listening to you. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to have you as a part of this magazine. Okay, let's go forward. Leadership. Wow, my favorite subject. All right. And here comes Mr. Thomas Varghese. Mr. Thomas, can you hear us? Are you there, sir?
Hi, Archana.
Okay. So that's Mr. Varghese. Sir, all yours, sir.
I think firstly, thank you for having me on this call, and thank you for the first or the second edition of your magazine. I think it's a very good forum for primarily excellence from practitioners who've been there and who have also had a tremendous amount of learnings in their life. So I think we are really at a stage where the world has gone through uh, a black swan event like none another, and it's virtually brought the whole planet Earth to a standstill. The economies have gone for a toss. The world as we knew it has changed, and it's quite likely that the world may never be the same again. The new normal requires very, very different skill sets, and the new normal also requires, in a sense, a change of guard, because the skill sets required are quite dramatically different. Um, However, in all this, leadership uh, continues to be the anchor which will make businesses and individuals successful, and also will determine sustainability of many organizations in the years to come. So having a positive attitude, constantly upskilling yourself, learning to be extremely agile, learning that you are not an island and that uh, the world is a community now. And I think we've seen now how a crisis like the COVID pandemic has brought the need for not just individuals doing things, but communities working in harmony, working in sync, working together to beat the pandemic. How important is the role of the community? How important is the role of technology? Um, when this started, the first the first feeling with most people is one of disbelief, saying that maybe it won't last long, maybe it's just a matter of couple of days, couple of weeks. But actually, not very many people know that the fastest vaccine developed in the world took 11 years, and that was for influenza. And all of us expecting some wizard to pull a rabbit from the hat in 18 months or 24 months is actually expecting too much. Let's just hope that I'm wrong, and that with the technology having advanced as much as it has, it would be far more easier, given the advancement in technology, to make breakthroughs now. But I think, a lot of the distinguished panelists have talked about success and the reasons for success. But I think learning ability, to enhance your learning ability, both as an individual, as an organization, is the most essential characteristic today. Along with this, I would say that organizations which have a deep sense of engagement and, empowerment, I think something that Ravi talked about, and I think I'm absolutely convinced after almost 4 decades in business that the greatest organizations are the ones where the employees are super engaged. And I always say that great organizations are not where all the people are, from Ivy League A grade university. Life never is like that. Life is a normal distribution. you'll have mostly soldiers and you will have a few generals or a few strategic geniuses. Ordinary people doing extraordinary jobs is what makes for great organizations. And that happens when there is high level of engagement and motivation. And, there's so much one can talk about, but I will leave the three mantras that I have picked up along my career, which I have now convinced, and I would be failing if I don't talk about it, is that the three things that we can do as not just as leaders, but as human beings, as individuals, is to practice mindfulness, number one. Number two, to listen intently, which very few of us actually do. And lastly, learn to suspend judgment. And I personally believe that a very concerted effort to practice these three would make us better human beings and would obviously make for great leadership. And of course, much better personal lives when we learn to listen to our spouses, when we learn to listen to our children, and we build in this culture of listening intently, not listening to respond, but listening to understand. So thank you again for having me here. I think it's a great forum, and it's a privilege and a pleasure to be with all these eminent panelists. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. Thank you so much. And you very rightly said it's all about active listening. It changes a lot of things for sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, Manish, the art of initiation. I think Manish has not been able to make it. He's stuck in Varanasi. But the article is really beautiful and you must go through it. It talks about a lot about his life at naval base in Goa and how he made life easy for him there. All right, so we'll go ahead. Management, very important part of life. All right, so we have Krishna Rao Buddha talking about giving his expert advice on product management. Krishna, are you here?
Yeah, I am here.
All right, let's hear from you, Krishna.
Thank you so much, Archana. Good evening to you all. Yes, thank you. Are you able to hear?
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. I said a very good evening to you all. It's indeed a great privilege to be a part of your magazine, Archana. So what essentially I've done is actually I've spoken about the basics of product management. So when I was studying, I found it extremely difficult to find a path to get into product management. So I was wherever I could gather whatever information. So I really felt that I essentially would have to get into sales first, and I may have to join as a trainee, an ASM, sales officer, ASM, area manager, and then possibly a zonal or a regional manager, and then a marketing manager. So this was somewhere I felt that was a typical problem of the budding professionals, the management graduates. So I felt, let me actually guide them. So this article actually is targeted towards youngsters, the budding marketers rather, who would want to get into product management. So I've tried to sort of illustrate various functions involved in product management, and of course definitely I would be putting this article, tagging it along on my various social media handles, so that actually these young professionals, they can sort of reach out and try and find out what are the ways and means to get into product management. So I've tried to sort of sum up very briefly, given the restrictions in terms of the space, but I think I've been able to sort of put my thoughts as much as possible. And I really look forward to getting hold of this magazine and read all the articles by all the eminent writers. Thank you, Archana.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Krishna. I'm sure people are going to enjoy it, especially the management students. Okay, great. All right. So that's BU, Lorena Costa, very dear friend. She is right here. Lorena, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me well? Yes?
All well. Perfect. Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Lorena Costa, and I live in the United States. I'm from Mexico, and I've been doing marketing for all my life, for 27 years, sales and marketing. So right now, I focus more on personal branding and why it's important personal branding right now, and more right now more than ever after COVID, right? So I encourage you as a leaders, as a CEOs, as a CFOs, to start developing your personal brand and start engaging and sharing your knowledge on social media with the young generations. They need to learn from you guys. They need to learn what experiences you had in the past in your life and your work and your career. And I'm pretty sure that your knowledge is going to help the young generations to become better. Being on social media sometimes it's a little bit scary for many C-level executives and directors from and directors, right? Because they are afraid to be judged, to be called something, but I want you to know that LinkedIn right now is one of the best platforms right now where many CFOs and CEOs are engaging and developing their personal brand, sharing their knowledge to the world. So being vulnerable is not being weak. Being vulnerable with your personal brand is a strength, because when you become vulnerable and you share who really you are to the world, you become somebody that is relatable to somebody else in the other side of the screen. So as I hear most of you talking about humanity and about relationships and about you know all what is right now in the network, right? So my recommendation to you right now is to start developing your personal brand on social media and show up. Just show up and share your knowledge, share all the great things that you have learned during all your career, and help somebody else to become better. I hope you enjoy my article, and I want to thank you for inviting me to your event and also to inviting me to participate in your magazine. I'm very proud of you and all the achievements that you have, Archanna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you so much. I'm sure people are going to love this article. I've gone through it. It's really wonderful. And I completely endorse this. It's very important to have a personal brand. And I'm sure many will be inspired to start creating a brand. I feel every individual is a brand in itself.
Yeah,
They just need to polish the gem.
everybody has a
Perfect.
brand.
Lovely.
We
Thank
just,
you so
we
much.
just need to get it. We just need to express it out. Everybody has their own brand. You just need to get out of it and talk about it.
Perfect. Perfect. Lovely. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Let's
you.
go ahead. Liz, Elizabeth, how are you? Where are you? I can't see you. The lovely article by Liz. She's really poured out her heart, and I feel the article is really very valuable. The picture that you see here is about a lady, and she's carrying a whole lot of eggs on her head, It only means it's ready to burst if she doesn't take control. So how do we stop these negative thoughts coming into our world? Liz, over to you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm having video problems with my security system. It doesn't like India for some reason. So, but I can talk to
Don't do
you.
that.
First of all, thank you so much, Archanna. This is beautiful what you're doing. I'm so excited for your magazine that you're putting together, and I just know this thing is going to do great things for the world. And so thank you for inviting me to be a part of it. I'm an author and motivational speaker who went from the business world into speaking with young people and helping children, not only teenagers and young professionals, but children and teenagers to also be successful. And regardless of how much training they've had, how much skill that's poured into them, oftentimes negative words and thought patterns stop their progress in life, and sometimes ours as adults. And I know as successful business people, one of the things that successful people want is for their own children to be successful as well. And so this is kind of my passion right now is dealing with just how to change thought patterns in young people. It's the COVID world is difficult, especially for teenagers. They're being remote schooled or online schooled. They've been told a lot of negative things about their success right now. And we as parents can change that thought pattern and the way that they see themselves and the way they present themselves and the way this whole episode and even things that have happened in the past can affect them or not affect them any longer. And so I learned these when I was a financial planner. I learned these tricks to change my own negative thought patterns and the way that I had thought about things. And so now I empower young people to take control of those thoughts of their minds and how to change them and grow from them and put successful thoughts in and become a success in life. And so I just encourage you as parents to pour into your young people right now. It is so, so important that they hear your voice of encouragement, your voice of that they can do this, they can succeed, and be behind them 110%. And again, thank you for inviting me here. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of people. And again, I mirror the voice that I heard before about, as successful people in the business world, we need to be speaking into the young generation, whether it's young professionals, but there are teenagers, there are children that are listening, and they can be affected, and they don't have to wait till they grow up to do great things. That's always my message to young people is, why do you have to wait till you grow up and go to college to do great things? You can do great things now. And we as parents have a huge role in allowing that for our children. So thank you again for inviting me. Congratulations again, Archanna. This is beautiful. And it's just such a privilege to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much. I loved your article. I love your positive energy and the vibe that you create. And I'm sure many will benefit out of this article. I have seen this. I mean, when I was like not going to work, office, no meetings, not meeting people, confined to my study the whole day long, and my children around me, my husband around me, it was just too much to handle. And yes, I think there's so much, not only us, I think even children, they get affected. And it definitely took us, all of us, a while to understand how do we handle that situation. So yes, I'm sure this article is going to be a great article for everyone to read and understand how one can really create those negative thoughts, push them away forever, and not
Yes.
let those eggs burst. Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Liz. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's go forward. All right. So, yes, of course. Hey, that's gig economy. Okay, I wanted to thank my sponsors, but now we have our gig economy here. Okay. All right, so that's Gopal Iyer. Gopal, Tell us, what are we venturing into? What are we heading into? Gig economy, one of my favorite subjects nowadays to talk on. Are you there, Gopal? Gopal, are you with me? Gopal, I think we lost him. I would please, can someone please send him a message? Okay. Gopal? All
Hello,
right, there
Gopal,
seems
we
to be
can't hear
something
you.
there.
He's on the call, Archana, and I think he's unmuted himself, but he's having a sound problem. It like I'm sure he'll sort it out. Just give him a few seconds.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm really very thankful to all of you. Thank you so much. Amazing. And also I would like to thank all my sponsors for helping me put together this beautiful magazine. I hope you all like it. So after we bring this event to the close, we will have this uploaded on all the social media handles. And I will also be sending out the message to all of you and, the links of the magazine so that you can share it. So this is going to be available on 3 platforms, 3 international platforms, Issue and Maxter and Yumpu. And the link is also going to be available on my magazine website, Power Talk with Archana. And also, the ribbon edition is there on the website. Yeah. Okay, I hope we all have the photograph also with us, the cover page. Gopal, we are waiting for you. Let's flip through once more through all the pages. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, so we have Gopal with us now. All right, Gopal.
Thank
Let's go ahead.
you. Some issue with my headset.
No worries. Please go ahead.
Great. I'm just trying to turn on my camera. Can you all see me as well? I'm guessing now. Awesome. So I think gig economy is something that I get. I mean, I run the gig economy program for eBay GDS, and we run this across 55 countries. And whenever I speak about the subject, a lot of people have different perspectives about, whether this is already there. Can you see me now?
You're
No,
not,
no.
no, we can't see you.
Not
It
yet,
seems you've left.
not yet.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, please, we can hear you. That's okay. You can,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
we can see you.
Perfect.
perfect. So yeah. So a lot of people have different perspectives about whether what is gig economy? Is it there already, or are we adopting it because of COVID, or is it for me? Is it not for me? And it ranges from who I speak to it. So it could be a different one for someone who is just out of college, and it is very different one for someone who is trying to get into a second career. But my view on gig is that I think it's been there for a long time. It's just that it's now getting a lot more uh, organized with platforms like digital platforms that we are getting right now, especially in the last 10 years with digital transformation that's happening around the world. And I think COVID has just made the other element, which is remote working, a lot more possible, which has further enhanced the chances for people to be getting more into gig roles. I think it's also to do with a lot of myths that existed about gig economy, which is what I've tried to address in the article here. I would love for perspectives from a lot of you or all of you on the call today to just provide me with that thought of what would it take for gig economy to work in your respective industries. It's working really well in EYGDS, but probably in a manufacturing sector or in a different sector where I think we have a lot of representations. It would be interesting to know the perspectives from each one of you. So I would love to hear more from you on this. And I've just tried to summarize the why, the what, and the how of gig economy in this article.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gopal.
Thank you.
I'm sure people will love this article because this is really a very comprehensive article. I've gone through it on gig economy. Thanks a lot for penning this down for us, and more power to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Archana, for this
Please, I
opportunity
think,
as well.
thank you. Great. So these are all the articles that we put together for our readers, and thanking all my authors once again. Thanks a lot, all my sponsors, Women in Tech, and of course, Trust with Trade for helping me put this together. Jitendra, Abhijit, Raviji, Reshma, of course, who've been very kind. Women in Tech, the entire team, Rakesh, Mr. Thomas Varghese, Manish, he couldn't make it, but yes, thanks. Krishna, Lorena, Franklin, thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, and Gopal, of course. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for helping me stitch this together. A beautiful, wonderful magazine. I hope you all enjoy this. Thanks a lot for your time here today. And we will be really waiting to know your feedback. Please help us amplify the reach of this magazine. We will be, by 8:30 today in the evening, this will be on the LinkedIn and all different social media handles. The moment it's done, I will be definitely be sending you the links so that you can share it with your people, your friends, and your colleagues. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Let
Thank you,
Archana.
all,
Chanya.
I have a suggestion. Since you got
please, sir, please.
since you got all of us together, maybe it'd be a good idea for you to send a mail with the contacts of each one of us so that whoever is
Absolutely.
interested can connect with each other. I think what's
Absolutely.
important
Absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
email as well as the mobile numbers. I think that should be good.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And
Will do, sir. Will do,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
thank you, fellow panelists. It's been
Perfect.
a
Thank you.
privilege and a pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Let's
Thank
take
you.
it
Appreciate.
together.
Archana,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. The cover. Dun-dun. Thank you. More power to all of us.
Let me take your picture.
Thank you so much.
Let us take the
My
picture.
best wishes. Let's take the picture. Yeah.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Wait.
Saurabh, where are you?
I'm not that fast. I'm not that fast. Wait. Okay.
More power to you. And we have lots of exciting times
Thank
coming for Power
you.
Talk. I will keep posting things. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
thank
More
you.
power to
Thank
you. Thanks a
you.
lot for your
Thank you
valuable
so much.
time.
Lovely
Thank
meeting you
you.
all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Have a
everybody.
Lovely
wonderful
meeting.
Pleasure.
evening,
Thanks,
day,
Nice
and
to
everyone.
meet you,
afternoon.
everybody.
It's been a pleasure
Thanks a
being
lot.
with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Chanda.